Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. It's a new week, which means new comics, and one of those releases is in my hands. It's X-Men Gold. This is Volume 7. It collects issues number 31 through 36 and annual number 1 by Marc Guggenheim, Leah Williams, Monty, Nero, Perez, Michele, Bandini, Simone, Buonfantino, Giovanni, valletta, Djibril, Morissette-Phan, Alitha, Martinez, Yeung, J. David Ramos, Milla, Erick, Arciniega, Dono, Sanchez-Almara, and Michael Garland. Alright, so this takes place after Kitty Pryde and Peter Rasputin's wedding didn't happen. So the X-Men are kind of, like haze that this great marriage didn't happen, or this marriage didn't happen. I'm not going to call it great marriage, but this marriage didn't happen. And the series was kind of in this weird gap. You could tell that something was going to be coming with the X-Men soon. And I straight up say it, this feels like filler. But it's not bad filler, and I'm going to go off why. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's really interesting. One, the theme of the entire trade. The entire trade has a theme, fascinating enough. It's issues 31 through 36, and all those issues have a theme to them, and annual number 1 kind of is the opposite of that theme. But the theme's loss. And there's 2 real main storylines in it. Really, 3. There's 3 main storylines, 2 main ones. And the first one has to do with Rachel, who is from the future, is Scott Summers' Jean Grey's kid, was a hound and hunted down mutants. Well, she kind of reverts. This is something that's been hinted at for quite a long time, and does a lot of damage. She's got a relationship with Nightcrawler, so that's kind of thrown under the rocks. So it's Rachel kind of dealing with all of this. It's interesting stuff. I don't think necessarily executed in the greatest way, but it's an interesting concept. It's actually kind of fascinating to read. And then there's Storm, who way back in the day got Hammer, as Guardian Hammer, and was imbued with this power of Asgardians. And the hammer is called Stormcaster, and Stormcaster comes back into play with this when she returns home to go fight some evil god. So it doesn't quite also dive too much into that whole history. It just kind of happens. But them bringing it back up and minding that kind of is a good thing, and it also helps end that chapter in her life. There's something that happens that's a pretty big deal. The third story it plays back into something really early in the series, which I think was really great. There's a new mutant manifest. Something happens. It's actually goes back to the heart of the X-Men, dealing with prejudice and racism, and it's kind of like a nice ending to, I think, the series as a whole. It's a good way to go out, at least the way I look at it. And I'm pretty sure that was the final issue. So overall, the trade is is it vital? No. Does it have some good character beats or important character moments? Yeah, there's some decent stuff that I think will kind of play out once in a while. I don't know. Well, I don't say necessarily will play out, but with the Rachel thing and her relationship with Nightcrawler, that was kind of a big deal. The Stormcaster stuff I don't see coming back down the line. I could be wrong with that. And the mutant and what happens in the third story is interesting. I don't see that one coming back either. It just kind of really gave a clue as to what we would expect coming forward with the Uncanny X-Men. And then there's Annual's Excalibur with them visiting that. It's just great to see all those characters back together. I was never a big Excalibur fan. The art is decent. I do have some qualms about the art, particularly Bobby and then, what's his name? Simon, who's the new pyro guy. Unfortunately, they're drawn really similarly. Their difference is their hair. As I said, you can see kind of there on this page. The art's not bad. It's very kind of, I would say, generic house style. This would be default is the best way I describe it. Or I would describe it. But you can see here, these 2 characters are really similar. About the only thing difference is their hairstyle and color. So there's that. There's a little bit of personality that's missing with some stuff, but there's some cool moments. Let's go with that. I think as it goes on, the Storm story is way stronger visually, and yeah, it bounces around. It's a lot of I won't say a lot of different styles, but it changes throughout, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a few artists that were involved. Overall, is this a vital volume? No. If you've been collecting and you've gotten to this point, or you're like a diehard X-Men fan, go for it. There's nothing necessarily bad about this trade. It's just also nothing that really jumps out as absolutely amazing. Holy crap, you got to get it. I think the Extermination event that just was sort of wrapping up because the last issue got delayed. That's a much better part to sign on if you haven't been reading X-Men, and I think Uncanny X-Men that's kicked off is a much better spot to pick up and start reading. So yeah, this was definitely kind of a closing of an era for the X-Men, and for those who were reading it at a time, I think this was like really kind of it just feels of that era. That's the best way I can describe it. It wasn't a bad time. It's just it never quite lived up to the potential. As far as extras, there's nothing. I don't even think there's covers in between. I don't even know if there's variants in here. I don't think there's variants in here. I could be wrong on that, but I don't remember seeing any variant covers. So as I said, it's got a lot in there. Don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, there's some variants. There's a couple variants. There's not a whole lot. Yeah, there's like a couple variants, not a whole lot. There's a lot packed in there issue-wise. It's just, yeah, it's the best way of going. It's not a non-vital X-Men trade. If you are into it and you want to get it after that like resounding review, go get it in comic shops. There's comic shops today. Go support your comic shop. They are the backbone of the industry. Without them, things just wouldn't do well. There's a link beneath this video. You can put in your zip code. Tell if your shop's near you. If there's no shop, no problem. We got affiliate links there, so we get a small percentage of that by doing that. You help support our site, though. And speaking of support, I want to thank Marvel for hooking us up with the review copy. We always appreciate it. And thank you for watching. We also like to be transparent about our review copies, so, if we're full of it or not. Now, if you're into X-Men, Marvel, comics in general, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.